Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Whenever you buy a used BMW, it's important that you do all your fluids. No matter if you have a perfect maintenance history or if you were told that all the fluids were done, it's important to do them yourself. It's not that expensive, and it's not really that hard. So today I'm going to go over the power steering fluid and the power steering fluid reservoir and filter. So the 335i and really every BMW has an integrated filter inside the power steering fluid reservoir. So I'm going to be replacing that. I'm going to go over what you need to do this job, where you can find it, and then I'm going to actually do a step-by-step installation so that you can see what's going on. Alright, so for the power steering reservoir and fluid replacement, you're going to need really 5 things. So you're going to need well, I guess there's one more tool. A 10 millimeter deep socket on a ratchet, and you're going to need a new power steering fluid reservoir, which has the integrated filter. You're going to need CHF 11S, this is power steering fluid that's made for the BMW, and a new hose clamp for the bottom of the reservoir. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the front of the car, and we can start this. Alright, so I'm adding this in here. I just got finished, and you need more tools to do this than I initially anticipated. So you're going to need a screwdriver, flathead, about this size. I would say this is like a small to medium. You're going to need some pliers, and this is for getting the new clamps on the hoses. And then you're going to need something to drain the old power steering fluid into, and a pump. So this is just a little fill drain pump that I've used for diff fluid and a few other things. Make sure it's cleaned out if you've used it for other stuff before sticking it into your car. So those are all the tools that you need to complete this job. Alright, so first things first, we need to get the fluid out of there. Mine's already low. It's making some sound, so instead of me just replacing or adding some fluid on there, or even pumping everything out and replacing it, I'm just going to replace the filter as well, because it has 80,000 miles on it. It's a 2009, so that means that there's a good chance that this power steering fluid needs to go. So we're going to loosen up these bolts there. And it does have an integrated washer in the bolt, so it's just the nut with washer. Stick it where you're not going to lose it, and get the other one. Alright, so we're good. Alright, now this thing will come out now. Alright. Oops. Well, alright, so we gotta pick that up. There's little threaded things in here. Yep. So these guys, looks like we dropped one of those. Anyway, so we got those out, these two little guys. And I'm gonna stick them on here. Right. In here. Right. And then we see that we have our lines here. So there's 2 lines here. I don't know if you can see them very well, that have these clamps, and that's how we're going to get our fluid out. Alright, so we're going to drain those guys. So now I'm going to drain the fluid out with this contraption here. There's actually gear oil in this right now, but I'm going to pump the rest of that out. It's from the Stealth. That was the last time I used it. But yeah, I'm going to pump all that out into this. This is just a cat litter tray, but it's good for getting rid of fluids. Alright, so we're going to drain this out before I take the hoses off of it. And it's pretty low. Stick this guy in there. And I'm going to pump it out. And you see it fills up pretty good. There it is. And it's pretty nasty. The other reason I'm pumping this into somewhere where I can see it is so that I can tell if there's any issues with the fluid, like any metal or crap like that, that would make the fluid, or that would show issues with the system. This little hand tool you can find at like AutoZone, I believe is where I got this one at. Yeah, so you want to move this guy around and get everywhere in there. So once we take the hose off to replace the reservoir itself, it's gonna get everywhere. Yeah. Alright, so now we're all drained and ready to take that apart. So you can see in there, it's all drained, all clean. So we're going to take off the 2 hose clamps now, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so it's kind of hard for me to get this on film just by, I'm using a regular camera, not a GoPro. But this guy right there, you're going to stick a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, right there, in here, right? And it's going to pop off. Alright? So you're going to stick a screwdriver in there, pop that, it's going to instantly loosen. So I'm going to do that now and pull out the reservoir. Okay, since I wasn't really able to get a good shot of taking these clamps off, I decided I would do one outside of the car so that you could see what really goes on there. So basically they're going to be like this. So this is in the closed position, and as you see how they work, this one little flap here goes underneath here and it creates that tension on it. So we're going to, from the top, when you're going in, you're going to just push it in there like that and it pops right out. It's a pretty cool design, but it sucks getting them back on. So you're going to get around the pipe. You're going to have to. Here, one second, let me set this up. Alright. So you are going to take your pliers and you come at it from the side like this. And it took me like a ridiculous amount of time, so you probably didn't want to see that anyway. And you're going to get it like that and pop it over. And then you're good. So that is how to use these clamps. So when I was pulling off the one of the hoses, it started leaking everywhere. So best idea when you pull this off is to stick the pump back down there and pump out a little bit of fluid so that it doesn't leak everywhere. It's not that much, but I just don't want power steering fluid all over my car. So yeah, do that, and I will continue when these are both off. Alright, so we got the old power steering reservoir out after some twisting and turning, and now the new one can go in. Now before we put this in, we're going to need to put the mounting on this, so let me do that real quick. So to do this, you're just going to use a 10mm on here and take that guy off. And then we're going to stick it on the new one. Just like that, with that up front. And we're going to tighten it back up. And we're going to pop these guys off. Alright, so then we got our new reservoir ready to go in. Alright. So for these clips, you can see that they're two different sizes. So this is the bottom hose clip, and this is the top hose clip. All right, so first we're gonna want to put the clamps on the hoses, and then we're gonna attach them to our new reservoir. We're gonna start with the bottom hose because it's easier to get that one on. So we'll stick that guy on there. A little bit lower than the reservoir we'll go into, and then we'll pop it in there and see what's up. Alright, so just like that, it's on there, and now I'm going to push that clamp up around it. Alright, so there's not really any possible way that I could have filmed that, but I'm going to show you the hose clamps on. You just use a set of wrenches. I'll show you how to do it later in the video, or I'll edit it in somewhere. But mine basically got crushed onto there, so now we're good. So we're gonna stick this new guy on the post here, and it's gonna be a little bit tight, especially because everything gets moved around. So gotta get it on there. All right, so you gotta get it on pretty level too. So all right, so we're on there now. So let's tighten this guy up, and we'll be ready to. Alright, so we're going to stick our nut washers on here. They are 10mm. Because of the post, you need to use a deep socket. Alright. We'll tighten these guys up. And it doesn't matter how much you torque these. Yeah. So I just got them hand tight and then an extra half turn. Alright, make sure that it doesn't really move. It's gonna move a little bit just because of how it's set up. I mean, you got like two little posts here. If there was like a post in the back that held it down, that'd be perfect. Alright, so it's on there. It's not going to rattle or anything, so now we're going to fill. So this is interesting, and I thought I'd show you. So I was taking the CHF11S, and it has a pull ring here for like a safety, for a seal, and it broke off. So I'm going to actually just try to get it out with a screwdriver. Yep, like that. So it's out. Oh well. It's not out, but it's enough. Oh, here we go. It's coming. Alright. Use gloves because this stuff is pretty freaking nasty. There's a reason it's so sealed up. Alright. Now that's out, and let's fill it. So there's a good amount of room there at the top, so it's not going to spill over as long as you aim it. So let's aim this guy in there. Let's start filling her up. And then we can check it. We actually check it with the lid. I'll shine my light down there. See, it's nice and green, not black. Stick our lid in there. And then pull it out. And we can see that it's not even touching the lid yet. So we gotta continue to add. It's gonna take a good amount of this, especially because we took some out of the pipes. Or the hoses, sorry. Alright, let's see. Let's check it. Let's see, this is the original cap, which I want to have, just in case. And it is wet on there now. It's hard to see, but it is wet. So we're good here. Oh, I'm sorry, you know what? Screw that cap. It was already wet, so. See this one, and it's wet, so perfect. So it's good. It's not over full. It's like right at the second line, so that's good. And now that's it. So this is important to do, especially if you have some power steering noises like I did. It's a new filter in this thing, and yeah, it's good to go. Easy job, and yeah, I will talk about a little bit on where to get this kit from next. So I actually neglected to tell you one thing, and that's that we're not sure that it's full yet. We're going to have to run the car and turn left to right fully, and then check the fluid level. So I'm going to do that real quick and make sure everything. So everything besides the tools, so the reservoir, which has the internal filter, the CHF11S fluid, and the 2 hose clamps can be found on fcpeuro.com. They basically have a lifetime warranty. Well, not basically, they really do have a lifetime warranty on all parts. So, and that includes the fluid too. So I could, use that whole bottle of fluid, pump the old fluid back into it, and send it back, and they'll send me a new bottle. Not necessarily expensive. Probably wouldn't do it for that, because all this stuff was under $100. I would say that you probably should do this every 80,000 miles. That's about where I'm at now, and I was just noticing a little bit of hesitation in the steering and some noise. So it already feels better driving it. And yeah, so thanks for checking it out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more DIYs for BMWs like this. Thanks.